The Assessment and Grading Conference is going to be an experience where teachers and administrators can come together and really learn what are those best practices to promote student learning. How do we get students and teachers to be using assessments in a way that will continue the learning process and inform instructional practices, as well as bring students into the process so that they can articulate where they are in their own learning journey and what it is they still might need to continue. This conference is not about figuring out ways to measure and record students. It really is about using assessment and grading also as part of the formative learning process, as something that we know will improve student learning from research that has been done by Hattie and followed up by many, many other educational researchers. In fact, because of that, it's not going to be based on whims or traditional practices. You're going to be able to attend breakout sessions and keynotes that are going to be steeped in educational research that really are going to identify what we know works to determine the learning of all students and to improve the learning of all students. In fact, to ensure the learning of all students. But along with that, it won't just be the theory, there will be practical examples and how do you actually make this work back in your schools or within your districts. This is going to be an opportunity for people who come to network, to really learn from people, to see what do assessment practices look like. What are the visionary things that we could be doing? What are some schools doing that maybe you're not doing yet that you can learn from? There will be an opportunity for teams to process and have access to the speakers and ask them very pointed and specific questions so that everyone leaves with a toolkit of ideas for what they need to do next to reach those visionary practices that make sure assessment and grading are not dirty words in education, but instead something done to improve the learning of teachers because they're analyzing instructional practices and determining next steps, and more importantly, to bring in the learning of students so they can answer what I've learned and what I haven't learned yet.